What's up, Jets fans? Welcome to the latest edition of Jets Latest, where you get the latest on the Jets, Jets. I'm your host, the spitting statistician, Dane Martinez, and today we are getting ready for Monday Night Football, Week 4 against the Miami Dolphins. And listen, you can become a Jets Latest insider. Click on the link. You know that. Get exclusive content, all sorts of other perks. But let's get to it here. And I have been saying for the last week and a half that the schedule makers did us no favors. The Jets opened up with 3 straight playoff teams they faced, right? The loss to Pittsburgh, the loss to Buffalo, the loss to Tampa Bay. And a lot of people, myself included, were saying that then the schedule opens up a little bit. So tonight is the night. No more excuses. I think we need to go into Miami in a road divisional matchup on Monday Night Football, which is a tough spot regardless of the team. And I think it's time to get a W here. Listen, let's talk about the different level of competition, right? I mean, the Miami Dolphins have a minus 41 point differential through 3 games. That is the 3rd worst in the league. By comparison, the opponents we had in the first 3 weeks would have combined 8-1. So let's, no more moral victories. Let's show what we can do, maybe against a different tier of competition. There is some good news here for the Jets, and that is on the injury report, we are a little bit healthier than we were last week against Tampa. The big news is Justin Fields has cleared concussion protocol. He will start for the New York Jets. It will not be Tyrod Taylor. Aaron Glenn was very clear that if Fields was active, he would still be the starter. I agree with that decision. We talked about it a little bit on Jets Latest last week. Here's the thing, though. I think it's important that Josh Reynolds should be back from his hamstring injury. I think that one is very important. We have been talking about this kind of wide receiver 2 for forever here on Jets Latest. I think the Reynolds return is big, giving Fields potentially another option in the passing game, okay? We will not have, however, Jermaine Johnson. We will not have the new acquisition, Jarvis Brownlee. And then also Keeney is still out. And I think that is still a problem. Remember, I believe that the kickoff return in this new day and age with the touchbacks coming back, I think that the kickoff return is a big play. We are starting to see these returns, and Keeney was here for his kickoff return kind of chops, right? So we'll see what we do there in the back. We also have the return of J2 Remember, he flashed in that first preseason game against the Packers, had missed the last 2 games with an illness. And so he will be back in that rotation, which is good because if you remember, our linebacking core is going to be thin in this one, right? Quincy Williams is down. McCurry Ball is down. However, I think what is important is if we look at some of the injuries on the Dolphins side, okay, they're going to get Darren Waller back. Big deal. I don't think he's got anything left in the tank. But at cornerback, they are very banged up, okay? They're going to have multiple cornerbacks that are out. Storm Duck with an ankle, out. Jason Marshall with a hammy, out. Ethan Bonner, another one of their cornerbacks, was added to the practice report or the injury report on Saturday. They are going to be very thin at cornerback. So this is an opportunity for the Jets offense, for the Jets passing game, who has gotten a lot of shade recently, to kind of show up, show out. We know Garrett Wilson has been very good. We get Josh Reynolds back, and they have a compromised secondary. Look for Justin Fields and this Jet passing game, hopefully, to look better and exploit it. And also, honestly, they should be able to move the ball against this Jets defense. I think there are opportunities here on offense. I talked about it last week, but Miami defense has been blood guns trash. Every team that has faced the Dolphins so far this year has scored at least 30 points on them. Indy put up 30 plus in week 1. The Patriots put up 30 plus in week 2. The Bills put up 31 points against them on Thursday Night Football, okay? And so, listen, this Miami defense, quite frankly, has been bad. Worst points per game allowed, over 32 points a game. Worst completion percentage allowed. That's another opportunity for Justin Fields, right? They also, it's not like it's just a passing game. They've given up 435 rushing yards, which is bottom 5 in the NFL. Maybe Breece Hall can get back into the groove here, right? This O-line moving people around. And not only just the straight running game, but they have given up 15 explosive runs of 10 or more yards. That is second worst in the league. So that means In their first 3 games, they've averaged giving up 5 runs that have gone for double digits a game. That's a lot. They give up 370 yards a game. They also have not gotten pressure on the quarterback. Their pressures is second fewest in the NFL, only 18 throughout the season. So again, plenty of opportunities here for this Jets offense to kind of get right. I think the Reynolds return is big, and I think that the cornerbacks there are thin. So if we get protection, we should be able to, with Fields returning now, be able to kind of stand and deliver. With those DBs out, I think this is a definite opportunity on offense, and not only for the passing game, but for the run game as well. You see, they have been poor in every aspect. This is really why I believe the Jets can get a victory here and look different than they have against top-tier competition that they have been facing in the first 3 weeks of the season. This is a different class of opponent, and the Jets, with all our moral victories and building and character building, they need to show what they look like different than they did against, Super Bowl favorites like the Buffalo Bills. And honestly, it's not only the Miami defense that has provided opportunities for their opponents. The Miami offense hasn't really been moving the ball either. The Dolphins have really been one of the worst teams in the league, as noted by this point differential. I tell you about the opportunities for the Jet offense. I think there is opportunities for the Jets defense as well. The Dolphins are averaging only 18.7 points a game. That's 25th. I mean, the Jets have been more than that. We haven't loved our offense, but the Jets are above the Dolphins in all of these offensive metrics, right? The Miami offense, 15 first downs a game. The Jets are better than that. Tua Tagovailoa has 4 interceptions on the season, okay? The Miami turnover margin is -5. Remember, we've been talking here on Jets Latest about how the Jets are -4 in the turnover margin. Well, the Dolphins are even worse. Okay, the Jets haven't had a takeaway so far this season. Well, Tua has 4 interceptions through 3 games. It's time for us to step up, look better, pick off Tua, create some pressures, create some opportunities against them. I mean, the rushing game hasn't been much for Devon Achane and these Dolphins. They have only 269 yards rushing. That's 26th in the league. The Jets are a top 10 run game, okay? So many different metrics, right? The explosive runs are not there. The EPA per dropback, which is kind of a measure, one of these advanced stats. The Dolphins have a -0.122 EPA per dropback. That's 26th in the league. The Jets are 20th in the league in that metric. So it's not awesome. The Jets haven't been great. They are 0-3, but so are the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 0-3 as well. The Dolphins defense has looked bad. The Dolphins offense has looked bad. There are calls for the Miami head coach to potentially get fired. There is rumors about rifts between Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill. That, like, the Jets are 0-3, but in 2 of those games, I've come here on Jets Latest and been like, hey, there's opportunities here. There's things to build on. There's things to learn from, right? The Dolphins are also 0-3, and it seems to have a different tone, a different set of kind of unraveling circumstances in Miami. You put this all together, the Jets need to go into Miami and not just look good moral victory. The Jets need to take advantage of these opportunities, look better on defense, create takeaways on defense. They need to look better on offense, throw the ball, complete passes, move the ball downfield, get that run game going again, and get a win. Their first win of the season. We've been saying it. The schedule opens up. Let's see what they look like against a different, lower class of opponent. Then all of a sudden, they go out there in Miami and they win this game, 27-14 or something like that. Then all of a sudden, you got that first win, you could start rolling, and you can say, oh, and they hung against these other teams that were good. But if they defecate the mattress in week 4 on the road against a team that's been a bottom feeder so far this season, then I think the kind of patience of the Jets fan will, in fact, start to run out. I think they're going to look much better. I'm glad that Fields is back. I think that the Josh Reynolds' return is actually a very big deal to kind of round out the passing game. And against a team that literally has 3 cornerbacks down, that should be a big deal. But that's what we're going to talk about here for this episode of Jets Latest. Let's hear what you guys are saying. And remember, become a Jets Latest insider. Click on the link there. You get access to exclusive content. You get other perks, even around fantasy football, around sports betting. We're here to help you. I'm here to help you win your leagues and win that cash. Remember, I am the host of the FTN Fantasy Show over on SiriusXM. If your fantasy team is in trouble, you can holler at me. Hit me up on social media. at Spittin' Speeds. But I always love that you engage with me in the comments as well. So let's see what some of you guys, Jets latest day one folk, are saying. Terrell James, 4350, says, JF7, let's go Jets. Yes, I think Justin Fields being back is huge. Let's see what he looks like against a defense that can be had. Literally surrendering the worst completion percentage in the NFL. Let's see if Justin Fields looks better, is more accurate, and hitting his receivers, including the returning Josh Reynolds. We got Jersey for Hawks saying, I only care about wins. Can we win? We need a healthy quarterback. And I hear you. Enough the moral victories, right? And on Jets latest, I've been saying it's about what it looks like. I don't think we're going to win 13 games. I don't think it's important if we necessarily win 9 games, if we feel good about Aaron Glenn, feel good about Justin Fields. But I understand this perspective from Jersey for Hawks. I only care about wins. This is the time to do it. If they look bad in Miami, a team that has not looked good all season, it's going to be a different conversation back here on Jets latest for the rest of the week. Old Dave 1000, day one regular from Jets latest, shout out to Old Dave, says this will be a good challenge for the coaching staff. McDaniel outcoached McDermott. He's talking about Thursday night football game, Miami and Buffalo, a couple of weeks ago. Miami looks like the Jets of last year, whereas the players were not inspired. I think a fast start could take them out mentally in this game. Go Jets. I agree with what Old Dave is saying here, because the Dolphins, like he said, it sounds like an uninspired team. We're talking about how even though we're 0-3, we've got the fight. We're building character. We're stacking, kind of experiences. Still reasons for optimism. It looks and feels different in Miami. It is, however, always a tough challenge when you have these Sunday night games, these Monday night games, these Thursday night games. A lot of that is skewed towards the home team, right? The national stage, their fan base is all hyped up about that national spotlight game in their building. That is going to be the challenge. There's going to be, at least at the beginning, there's going to be some energy in that building, okay? And so I think Old Dave is right. We need to come out there and punch them in the mouth early. I would expect to see this running game getting going early on, trying to take the crowd out of it. And I would expect this defense to kind of be blitzing Tua early on, to be trying to get pressure on Tua early on. Remember, Tua is not like a Baker Mayfield, not like a Josh Allen. He is a statue back there, and he is a guy who has already thrown 4 interceptions. I think we're going to ratchet up the pressure, take some chances, and try to get that big play to kind of set the tone, build momentum, and shut their fans up. The one thing I'm worried about, we don't have Brownlee yet. Are we going to see A.Z. Thomas opposite sauce? Are we going to see Stevens opposite sauce? Because with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, those are 2 legitimate wide receivers. Whoever sauce is not on, remember, will probably be targeted by Tua Tagovailoa. So we got to see if his medulla oblongata stays intact, or if we bring that pressure. That's the thing to look for. Hopefully we come out of this and get a W, our first win of the season, and then we'll have plenty more to talk about in a good sense here for the rest of the week on Jets latest. All right, so that'll do it for this episode. Thank you to everybody who's growing the channel. Tell a Jets fan friend to tell a Jets fan friend. Watch these videos, like these videos, engage in the comments. I try to read some of them out here on the show, and we're going to continue to grow, and hopefully with a win, all of the kind of happy feelings come on right back as we can go through a stretch and start to build momentum. We will talk about it all week long. You know me, the Spittin' Statistician. I am here for the JETS, Jets, every single day, including tomorrow. We'll see what happens after Monday Night Football against Miami, but for now, we out of here. Peace.